At any PGA Tour event, the driving range is a busy place as players hone their games to compete on the world's most lucrative stage. Our resident coach, Mitchell Spearman, has spent plenty of time on driving ranges over the years, helping his players. And he met up with Anna on the range at Bay Hill recently to give us an insight into what goes on out there.
Joining me here on the driving range here at Bay Hill is none other than Mitchell Spearman. Mitchell, as a PGA Tour coach, you spend so much of your time, I imagine, down here on the range. Describe to us what life is like on a PGA Tour driving range.
Well, the truth is I try to spend as little time as possible, but that's often not possible. So here's a Pro-Am day, Bay Hill. The player I work with, Billy Hurley, is just going to tee off in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go and catch a few holes, but he's already spent yesterday with me, came over to nearby Isleworth and worked in his game. So instructors, physical trainers, his physical trainer flew down to be here for a couple of days because he'd been on the road for a couple of weeks playing and just wanted to make sure the body was okay. This is all part of PGA Tour golf life, being out here. You'll hardly see any player out here on their own. Obviously they've got their caddy with them, but you know, over there is Zach Johnson and he's got his instructor there, Mike Bender, working with him. You know, Augusta's just around the corner a couple of weeks from now, and so this is the time of year where the guys are really keen to be dialing things in, so when they get to the major they don't have to be thinking too much about their swing.
I mean, we all know what it's like at your local club at a driving range, but out here on tour, it's a very different ball game. You've got so many people that come along with these players. There's a real team behind every single one of them. Who would be likely to be out here with them practicing?
So you're going to often see, especially early in the week, the manufacturers are out here. They're here every single week just to support the players. There might be a new wedge that they've come out with, a new driver setting, might be a different golf ball. There might be some reason why they're playing in a slightly different condition and they might want to change clubs. So the manufacturers are out here. The golf instructors like myself are out here supporting the players, working with them. I probably go to 12 tournaments a year. We're lucky because 3 or 4 of them are in Florida, so it doesn't mean having to travel too far. I would say 7 or 8 of them are planned, and then you sort of see how the season's going and then you try to fit in. So the idea is that you're not coming here to do anything drastically different, you're just keeping an eye on them, checking them what's going on, seeing what their ball flight's happening, and taking it from there. Physical trainers, they're here quite often because they work with the guys you know, on a regular basis. So you'll see the physical trainers will be out here a lot more. They do have access to the van here as well, where they have trainers and chiropractors and things of that nature that will help you, and massage therapists. So yes, this is life on the road, where you're trying to get your game to be ready to play all the time. And remember, these guys are playing so much golf. They want to be ready to play when they're out there. So looking after their body, looking after, you know, their golf swing, making sure they're doing the right thing. You don't see many guys just on their own here anymore.
I imagine, especially at somewhere like a major championship, this is the place where it's your time to get into your zone,
yes,
try and find peace within you. But when it's absolutely packed, that must be quite difficult. How do you block everyone out?
Well, I think that's where that little circle of a few people around you really help, because you know, you and I have talked about this before. That you're standing right there, and the guy you're playing against, or you know, by the media's terms, maybe one of your great competitors but great rivals, is, you know, 5 steps from you, working on their golf game. So yes, you've got to create your own world and your own environment.
And just looking at your schedule personally, when you're at an event like this and you've got players in the field, how do you spread your time? Do they come to you and you build your time around them, or the other way around?
You turn your mobile phone off and pretend that it doesn't work. But no, the truth of the matter is you try to, I mean, I'm lucky, I work with Billy Malnati and Peter Hurley, and so quite often they'll play a practice round together, so get there early on a Tuesday morning, and I might arrive, if I'm driving somewhere, get there at 10 in the morning. They've already played 9 holes, walk the next 9 with them, come in, have some lunch, talk about what we saw, go on the range, do an afternoon of work. So that's how I like to try to do the Tuesdays, and then I quite often will just be there that one day and leave. You don't want to ever become a crutch for a player, and that's something I've tried to be careful of throughout my career teaching, is that I should be able to do a good enough job that I should be able to leave and not have to work with them.
Not a bad life, Mitchell. Thank you so much. Some brilliant insight once again from Mitchell about life on the driving range on the PGA Tour.